haven't had them sign buyer agency agreements, those 4. So I've been on my agents to get those 4 signed, but we do have approved buyers right now from our virtual meetings.
Okay, and normally how many transactions are you closing a month?
Agents to get those 4 signed, but we do have approved buyers right now from our virtual meetings.
Awesome. Okay, and normally how many transactions are you closing a month?
Agents to get those 4 signed, but we do have approved buyers right now from our virtual meetings.
Okay, and normally how many transactions are you closing a month?
Agents to get those.
It's because it's streaming live on YouTube.
Is YouTube just went, hold on one second. Normally how many transactions are you closing a month?
Agents to get those.
It's because it's streaming live on YouTube.
Well, it's because I have it up. Let me take it off.
Because it's streaming live on YouTube.
Well, it's because I have it up. Let me take it off. Hold on one second. Okay, I don't know if, I guess it still is streaming live. I just took it off my computer. That's better, right?
Much better.
Okay, sorry about that. So normally, Melissa, how many transactions are you closing a month?
This month right now, we should have been on track to close about 40.
Okay, so you guys see how much it's affected her personally and where her struggles are, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And what we have found is, so we are actually, are you marketing more, Melissa, than you normally do?
Yep, we just ramped up everything, all of our Facebook campaigns. I'm actually going to start rolling out the instant cash offers also, which I haven't been. So we're definitely going to ramp up with that also.
Okay, so everybody who's on here, obviously we have, we have people from all over the country. Some of them are in Craig Proctor coaching, and you can tell by the way they talk, I think. And many of people are not. Everybody's welcome today. So again, we love having you all here and all sharing. So you heard Melissa with her struggles with inside sales agents. This month, she should have been on track to close about 40 transactions, obviously very affected. Her team is challenged right now to adjust to the changes. What we have found is we are marketing more on all avenues because most people have backed off. Okay, so marketing is actually a lot cheaper. We're actually making a lot more appointments than we normally would. Okay, now we only have 2 sales agents currently on our team. We have a very small team. We used to have 10. Okay, so we, for us, we're not struggling with the part of marketing. We're not struggling with making appointments. That part we're not. Now we did used to struggle with that, okay? But we aren't struggling. Of course, we're a lot smaller now. And then what we're working on right now is actually getting VIP signed. So we're not as good at that yet. But what we do is everything that we're doing, we're trying to tweak it. And here in Florida, the great thing is we have so many out of state, buyers. So really learning this and doing well at it and being able to do virtual appointments is going to help us forever. So I'm excited to the opportunities that we've found in the last, since the one ISA that I have the numbers for here to share with you today. She usually runs about a 70 to 75% held ratio in appointments. And this inside sales agent, since April 1st has scheduled 37 appointments, 22 have showed up. So 60% instead of her normal 70, 75. So that's what we're working on. I would like to ask Sushma. Sushma, can you come on here, please? Now, Sushma is getting, the reason why I want to ask her, hi, Sushma, is Sushma is, hi. So Sushma is in Toronto, right? Works real good with new construction and such, but she's getting her VIPs, her agents are getting VIPs signed. So she's actually going to come on to our team meeting today and kind of work with us at getting signed VIPs. And what we mean by that, you guys, is it's buyer broker agreements. Okay. So getting signed buyer broker agreements through virtual, through Zoom. Okay. So Sushma, how are you getting that done?
So first of all, as soon as my ISA books the appointment, we send them an email with a link and explaining to them how it's done. Then just half an hour, 15 minutes before the appointment, 2 hours before it's confirmed, but again 15 minutes before, okay, we have sent you the link. Do you have any problems? Have you done? So that everything is set when the time for the meeting comes. Then we go through, first take the VIP buyer profile. We ask them very questions and make them comfortable and go through before we start the presentation. Because there are times the client has a lot of questions. Oh, it's not the right time to buy, or you know what, the market is going to come down, and how are we going to see? And you know, whatever their fears are, we try to actually make them at ease with their fears. And if we realize that people want to buy, but they're still not ready, even after that, we don't push it. So what we do is we tell them, why don't we do the journey together, walk you with it. Every 8 to 10 days, we will call you. We'll let you know what the market is. Let's discuss it. And, you know, just actually trying to warm them up. And I think the clients actually like that. They're not being pushed. And then we said that then we go with the presentation, and then we ask them for the loyalty, like that. I think whatever you taught me, Kristen, that's all what I'm doing.
That's what I'm talking about. How are you getting the loyalty agreement signed virtually?
Yeah. So once they agree and they send, then we send that we are sending you a link. We are on the Zoom call. So we send it through DocuSign. So we have an authentic sign through the office. So we send it to them. They see that we sometimes have to go through the agreement. Sometimes clients don't even ask us to go through it, and they just sign it and send it back to us. And so even if my OSA is doing it, the email comes to me. So I signed it back and send it that from both the sides. So it's not my OSA who's signing it back. Though she sends it to them, it comes to me in my email saying that they have signed it and please execute the copy. Then I send it and they get that copy. And then we put them up on a search. So that's how we have been doing. And we have been lucky so far, you know.
Yeah. So, and you are getting, so you getting it signed while you're still on the phone with them?
Yes.
And what do you say? What do you say during that?
I think by the time we come to that stage, the client is very comfortable, because the client feels that you have all the knowledge and what is needed. And they also feel that this is not somebody who's going to push me, but walk me through. And they want to buy all the answers, whether it's the finance, whether it is what the market, everything. So they're quite at ease by the time they're ready, if they're ready to sign. And then we tell them, let's take every day as it comes. When this will end, and when it ends, we are all prepared. So you don't have to listen to your neighbors telling you something or your best friend telling you something. You are in charge of the market. You are studying the market every day with us. So you don't need to ask them questions. You know what is going on, what's the price, what's happening. So they feel that they are in control now, and they can actually educate themselves when this goes off. So they like that way of talking. And I think that's what is really giving us a lot of people to sign up.
Okay, so what I hear really there is that they are not pushing them, so they feel comfortable.
Yes.
And I know you're going to go over it more with us later, but the big thing is, like, for us to get people on, as far as the virtual appointments, the one thing we're doing is, so let's say I'm making a call and I'm saying, you know, hi, Kristen, and I'm, you know, going through the script or whatever, and I loved what James, what you said in our meeting last week. And he said, James, can you share what you said on how you take them? So he takes them, and I love this. So he takes them, we were taking them and asking them if they had 10 or 15 minutes right now to go, why we have them on the phone as opposed to scheduling an appointment later. James, okay, go ahead and say how you did it.
I have the link already set up in Zoom. And so when we're on the call and they agree to the buyer offer, then I say, oh, okay, great. I just sent you a link. We can review properties right now. And since you haven't bought a property in a while, there's a brief presentation there as well to show you what's changed. So I'll go through the presentation.
So you don't ask them, you actually just go through it.
I just go in because, you know, one did say he wasn't prepared, that his wife just handed him the phone, and that he needed to get himself together. So he wanted to do it the next day at 11 o'clock, which he did. So I finished that Zoom this morning. It took me, got on the call with him at 11 o'clock. It took me 20 minutes for him to download the right apps and get it right. But he was very patient, and so was I. And I went through the entire presentation, and I did not stay on the line because I was 10 minutes after late for this call, but I didn't wait for him to sign the DocuSign that I sent him in the end. I did go over each document with him so he knows what to do and where, but it's all preset, so he's just going to press one button. And this is a referral, basically, to transaction I just closed, so I know that he's not going anywhere, but I will get it signed nevertheless.
Well, and the big thing that I wanted to tell you guys there is when you're making an appointment and you're making a virtual appointment, to try, if you can, and they don't seem like they're in a hurry, to go right and start the appointment right there. And don't assume that they're going to say yes. Okay. Unless
yeah, it's pretty seamless. And they're like, oh, okay. And you know, we just go into it. It's just seamless.
And what we were doing is we were asking them, hey, do you have 15 or 20 minutes right now to go and do an appointment?
That's true. And Aylin tried to set me up one yesterday. It was a short notice. I got on the Zoom call and we were both texting. They didn't come back. So that was a no-show. And just because it wasn't linked immediately, I think.
Yeah, right. So we want to try every time we can to try to link it up immediately if we can. Okay. And then if once you get on the call with them, you go, I recommend if you're making appointments that you don't go any further out than a day. Okay. So today or tomorrow when you're making appointments, but guys, we're making all these now virtual and we're selling to people virtually. Okay. And I don't know if you guys are struggling or, you know, I see what happens as I see a lot is a lot of real estate agents are doing nothing right now. And this is the time that, you know, up to 30% will usually in a time like this, and obviously this is much different, but in crises, you know, 35% of agents get out of the business. This is the time that there's a lot of opportunity. Anybody else want to touch on that? So basically what I asked is, what have you learned over the last 5 weeks and how have you grown yourself and your business? Anybody else want to go on that one?
I'll just add one more thing, Christine, on this, that even our follow-ups are very strong. So as soon as the appointment is done, and if my OSA tells me that this client is really good, but has not been comfortable to sign, I will immediately call up and figure out why they didn't sign. And I've had two people signed after 4 days.
Guys, I'm going to mute everybody. Unmute yourself because there's background noise. Okay, unmute yourself. Sorry. Go ahead, Sushma.
So I have had 2 people signed after 4 days because of the strong follow-up. So they did do the appointment. They were very strong clients, had all their finances and everything in place. I didn't want to lose them. So it's a follow-up is also a very big thing. So as soon as the appointment is over, somebody must call them up and ask them, even if they've signed, thanking them. And even if they're not signed, why they have not signed. I think that also really has worked very well for us because I've got 2 signed afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the thing is once we schedule the appointment, if we can't do it right now, that's a good point. So the one thing that we do is we make sure that they know, hey, have you ever used Zoom before? And, you know, a lot of people have now. A month ago, most people probably say no, where today a lot more people say yes, right? But if they do say no, we say, okay, we're going to send you a link right now in your email, but don't worry, it's very simple. And then 5 minutes before the appointment, we're going to go ahead and walk you through it. Okay, so we're gonna follow up with them 5 minutes before. Then what we do is we make sure that we send them a text. We also send them an email. And we follow up. Okay, so if it's not today, the appointment's not today, even if it's within 24 hours and tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna mute everybody again. We're following up with them. Okay, so that's the biggest thing that I can tell you from our inside sales agent. We have 2 inside sales agents, but the one I'm talking about, that's what she does, and she just stays on them and on them. And it's been good for the most part. Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Tracy here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I joined in a little late. I was training a new ISA some. So things we've learned is.
Okay, so Tracy, tell us where you're from and a little bit about your team.
Okay. I'm from East Tennessee, so we service the Great Smoky Mountains, where there's a big investment opportunities, a lot of big tourist town. And then we also service basically the East Tennessee region. We service about 7 or 8 counties that surround Knoxville. So that's who we are. We have currently 5 ISAs, 1 still new, and we have a team of 24 agents, with 2 just got released to start selling, 2 more still in the onboarding process. We're still recruiting. We set 78 appointments last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many were held?
I think we were like, we run about up in the 70s, like 75, 77, 78%. So we're running in the 70s on book to show rate. Something that we've learned to do
Hold
is,
on. One more
okay.
thing, Trish. I just want everybody to know, just so they kind of know where your volume is. How many transactions, what kind of GCI are you looking at?
For this year?
Well, for last year, let's say.
Oh, for last year? Last year we did 504 transactions, 4.7 something million in volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody,
Okay.
and I remember when you started, when I met you, you had like 2 agents, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
just
me and
watching-
Chris mainly. And no ISAs, we didn't have me. Yeah, no, it's been yeah, we've been growing this thing pretty rapidly, really. If you sit back and start thinking about it.
Yeah, you've done amazing. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Okay, so
Yeah,
yes, share for sure.
Okay, so we've learned to pivot pretty quickly in our marketing. We changed our message to market and made it, really good. We took over our own Google. We've been doing this for a while, trying to get this done, but we took over our own Google ads campaigns, and we have I got a friend of mine who's really good at it, and he's helped me with it. We do. So we have our own message to marketplace. So of course the message we're using is from Craig Proctor. So we control it. So instead of paying people like, Commissions Inc. or whoever your platform is, we took that money and applied it to our own Google ad spend. And so we've done that. I may have to take this call.
So
My wife calling.
Where are you marketing, and what are you who are you marketing to? So obviously we want to really market to people that have to buy and sell properties right now.
Yeah. So for instance, right now we started about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when this whole coronavirus started, unfortunately, but we started with we started launching out the divorce ad that Craig runs. Right. So we just take that classified, we just take that ad that you can, the new way you can do it there, you just do the Google ad, and we just started running it, and we started running the campaigns behind it, and just started running that ad basically by city, like, Knoxville or Pigeon Forge or Sevierville, or, areas where there's Maryville, just a lot of residential type people. And that's been, unfortunately, that's been a good ad people have been responding to. So we have like 10 or 12 of them running right now. And so our Google is really working well. I took advantage of Zillow because they were discounting, everything 50%. So I went and doubled my ad spend, which was basically the same ad spend, right? So I just basically doubled my market, and I picked up some new zip codes. I picked up some more market share in some current zip codes. And then we do really well with a postcard that we use. This is the postcard. It's a plastic postcard. I've introduced this to several platinum people, but this is, I've got a buyer for your home postcard, right? So this goes out to a specific group of people, and it's the absentee owners. I don't know how well it would work by using it for farming, but it works really well for absentee owners. And so we get a lot of that. We get in on average, I mean, there's been weeks last week where we had 85 people call in, 85. Yeah. And we average 40 to 50 phone calls a day. And then we have, hang on just a minute. Okay, my wife, I take care of her. So we generated, what we've done is we've been working on this for some time, but we just started getting it going. And then we want to generate more call-in type leads. So we would even run Google ads with a call button, a call to action, just call, click the button, call. So that's worked. So just really upping what we did is, we were talking this morning in our sales meeting, what we did is we did the opposite of what everybody else was doing. We started spending more money, not less money.
Yeah.
And then it's paying off. So we turned in 21 contracts last week from our agents. We've got we're carrying right now 190 listings.
Wow.
Right now, active, not pending, active.
That's
Active
awesome.
listings, 190. We've got 213 buyers signed up right now in our pipeline, already signed agreements working with. So we're exploding and we need more agents, and that's what we're working on. So I've gotten better personally at tracking. We have gotten, tracking's been something we always work on, but now we've got a system where we're tracking every single, thanks for Kristen and helping me with some of the VAs, by the way, at tracking every single day, how many leads we generated, what the lead sources were, and what they buy or sellers. And we're tracking every single one of them. So now we know exactly where the money, for instance, like I was spending $18,000 a month on radio, and we weren't getting, for 3 weeks, we got zilch. So I immediately went down in April, I cut it in half. And then in May, I said, I'm taking it down again. I cut it in half again because nobody's in their car. They can talk about all this streaming on devices and stuff. It didn't work for us. Tried it. I mean, went 3 weeks without a call from radio. That's unheard of for us. So what I do with that money? Well, I didn't just sit on it. I'm using it.
Yeah.
Right. So I just put it in places, and how I knew where to put it is because I was tracking for months now. I've been tracking every lead source, how many per day, all those things. So that's what we're doing.
So, okay, first of all, I want to thank you for your business. He has 4 full-time virtual assistants through us. This is one of the things that our virtual assistants are doing. So, for example, they're putting and they're going to be putting ads. So, for example, you guys should be making sure that you are tracking, just like what he said, and this is why I wanted to show it to you real quick. All of your ads, okay, any ads that you're running, if you're running Facebook, Instagram, Google, Zillow, whatever it is, okay, regardless, you want to make sure that you, like here, we can just go in here and we can look. For example, here's the picture of the ad. I guess I can't click on it. Oh, I guess I can. So here's a picture of what the ad is. This is the picture, okay, of our ad. Okay, now what we're doing is we go here, and this is the headline. So it's Lighthouse Point waterfront homes under $800 or 800,000. Sorry, $800. Yeah. And we ran that from April 10th to the 17th. Okay. Also, free list of homes include that picture. So these we're tracking every day. You or an assistant needs to be tracking your marketing every day from what you're running. So this is the location of the ad, the amount that we spent, the number of leads, etc. Then what you got to do is you got to make sure that you are running it, and then you got to make sure the inside sales, and if that's you, that's okay. But the inside sales agents need to be letting you know also weekly the number of, the week of, for example, the 20th through the 26th of April. And then you can go, how many total leads did you get from that one ad? How many leads had good phone numbers? How many had how many conversations did you have? How many said yes to making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? How many did you schedule appointments in future? So when you do that every week as the team leader, you can go in and you can say, okay, this is how I need to adjust my marketing because of this. So for example, Allison just hired a person to run ads and a person to make calls. And this is what we do for you, Allison. So every day the assistant will come in and do that and run that and then tell you how much you're running, how much each ad, what you're getting, and you can make the decision. Because just like what Tracy talked about, this is exactly what needs to happen, is you take your marketing dollars. How much should we be spending on marketing? Okay, depending on where you're at in your business, but at least 10 to 15%. Okay, of your money should be spent on marketing. But just like what Tracy said, he was spending a lot of money on radio that wasn't working. So he took that money and he reallocated it to something else that was working. Okay. So anyways, that's that.
Tracy, I have a question. So have you found it to be easier to hire OSAs? I know people don't like you there, so, but no, it's.
You guys know that when people are successful, you have more and more haters. The more successful you are, the more haters you will have, period. It's just the way it goes. So you gotta be used to and be okay with being hated. Okay, that's just the way it goes. And Tracy, because he is #1 in 4 different cities and more, okay, he's hated by a lot of people. A lot of realtors do not like him, okay, because he kills it. Okay, so are you struggling with hiring or what?
Well, this last one I did, I had to do it live, and I don't think we really was actually aggressive enough up front, driving everybody to the event as far as virtually. So I didn't have a big showing there. But we have had success because we do it by event, but we're also, if an agent or anyone that we know of refers somebody to us or tells us about, so we get aggressive and we go call and we try to get them, to meet with us face to face. So the answer is somewhat. I've had agents. I had a friend of mine that was an agent. She told me that you're just too aggressive. If you were in Atlanta or if you were in New York or if you were somewhere else, then okay, yeah, this big aggressiveness that you do. I'm like, yeah, it's just not me. I'm aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to come after. I'm going to go after people that I want on my team. So that's just who I am, and I don't care, because there's this whole Facebook page, and it seems like it's all about me, but it's called Knoxville Association of Realtors Talk, and I'm their #1 subject. They should do a podcast about me, I don't know. But anyway, the last one I just read it last night. They were talking about the new NAR rule coming in May the 1st, stopping all this, coming soon stuff. And then they made comments. Of course, I'll do the $1 co-broke, and sometimes I'll just do it to piss people off. But I'll do the $1 co-broke, and they hate it. But I'm just telling you, I just tell my agents, listen, if it's an easy sale, put $1 co-broke on it. We're not going to give up 2% unless we have to. It's going to sell. I mean, it's going to sell without having to have a co-broker involved. So just put $1 co-broke on it, make them earn it. I don't have a problem with that. They have problems with it, but anyway. So the long answer to the question is it is getting a little easier for me. We're doing these events, and what we have found is, we'll have 10 people show up, but there's like 4 or 5 really good quality people. And so the one before, let's see, the one we just did was April. That didn't go very well because it's all virtual. So the one we did in March, we picked up like 3 or 4 really good agents that on our team. So it's in Sevier County, that's where I live, mainly in Sevier County, where the investment, the quality, the amount of agents that are available is pretty small. And I'm not getting any traction there because it's 500 haters, and there's 600 agents here. So I'm not getting any traction here, but I am picking up people who want to get into the business and that are like good, solid talent, and we're converting them into real estate agents, and we're having a lot of success doing that.
Yeah. Okay. We are live on YouTube, so I don't want to get into Scott. I don't want to really get into the commissions and stuff. But okay, so that's been awesome, Tracy. Thank you. I think that this is a great time to recruit as well if you are recruiting, for a couple different reasons. Number one is if you're recruiting for a team or for a brokerage, okay, because a lot of people are not educating. They got to educate. They got to stay up, right, with what's going on, and they got to assist you and help you, okay, to be able to pivot through this time, okay, like somebody used before. I mean, we're not going to go back to the same real estate, everybody. If you think that we're going to go back to how real estate was 6 weeks ago, that's never, ever, ever going to happen. Because what's going to happen is there will be some people that are comfortable working the same as it was 6 weeks ago. And then there are going to be a lot of people that absolutely are not going to be that are not comfortable with working with you face to face. So you have to change what you're doing, and you have to be good at it. Trust me, it's every day we're training. Like I said earlier, we're training everybody so much more. We're training our virtual assistants, for example. We have 21 trainings, over 6 weeks, and it's 4 hours a day. Okay. So just so they can help the team leaders more and do things like that. But I'm telling you, we're training ourselves more. We're training more. I mean, it's just crazy. But what are other people? If you're recruiting, you should be able to definitely be proving what you have. What do you have? You have appointments. What do people want? People want appointments. Okay, so agents that are on teams, they want appointments. Okay, so if your team is making appointments for agents, it should be easier for you to recruit, because I saw somebody had a question on here earlier. But you got to show your value. Number one is, if you're not showing your value, nobody's going to come work for you. Okay. And also for your brokerage, it should be easier as well. Like I said, for the brokers that are really putting their all into really training the agents and working with that. Okay. So who has sold 100% virtual since this has all gone on from start to close? Who's done that? Okay. Anna, you want to unmute yourself? Hi there. Hold on, I'm on. Okay.
Okay, I did it.
Okay.
I saw the home virtually, but I can't unmute myself on Zoom.
No problem. That's okay.
So yes, I did. It's actually pretty exciting, because before all of this, you would think that that's not possible. But I met a client who's from out of town, got him signed virtually. And I basically went in and showed the property, again, virtually through FaceTime. Now, here's the thing. When you are showing properties virtually, you want to make sure that you're looking at your screen rather than just holding your phone and looking at the property, because you want to make sure that they actually get a good view of the property, and you want to go as slowly as possible. You want to show the floors, you want to show them the details so that they feel actually that they're in the property. And so yesterday we went fully firm. I was so excited because I couldn't believe that this actually has happened. Talk about major paradigm shift. And he said, you know what, Anna, I actually felt like I was in the property. So that was amazing. Yeah.
Well, good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So much.
Thank you. And Tracy, go ahead.
Winston.
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute everybody again.
His dog.
Go ahead and unmute yourself, Tracy. Sorry about that.
It's all right. So we've been doing virtual for a while because, we deal with a lot of out of area buyers for the investments. So wasn't really and we've done that with the sellers too. But we've had a lot of success with it. Something that we are doing that we picked up on a Craig Proctor, I think it was a coaching call he did where they did a Zillow call with Sarah Reynolds, right? And he was talking about doing just go ahead and transfer, and like I've got ISAs, right? So we go ahead and transfer that live over to the agent. And so what we've done is we've created a schedule for agents who are basically going to be available in certain time blocks. So we know exactly who to transfer it over to. That alone has really helped increase, because people are in this mindset of, they want what they want right now, right? They want that instant thing. So they want to instantly know. So that's helped a lot with our conversion rate. So I recommend people looking into doing that. But that was a great job on was it Laura? The last lady that was on here, or no, it was Anna. Yeah, Anna, great job for Anna doing that, what she did. But you know what, it shows us all that, and you can say, well, not in my market, or that won't work, whatever, but I'm telling you, that shows everybody that you can do this. You can sell homes virtually. We've done it for years. We did it we basically did it just over the phone, because people were like, hey, I want to buy that property, sight unseen, make an offer, boom, we've done it. So it's the same thing. It's just that you are now, I love the fact that she did it on FaceTime or whatever she did with her cell phone. That way the seller or the buyer could ask questions, go, hey, walk over here, show me what's next door over here. tell me about this, tell me about that. And that's innovative. I like that. It's good.
Yeah, and thank you. One of the things are, guys, if you are doing virtual open houses, so there's a couple different ways that I recommend you do a virtual open house. So for all of your sellers right now, I recommend that you definitely are doing virtual open houses. Number one is you can do them with live, Facebook Live. Another way that you can do it is you can do it through Zoom, and you can have a conversation like me and Tracy talking about it. We can use our Matterport 3D. So basically, you should be doing a 3D. If you're paying for somebody to do a 3D of the house, and you should have a map of the house, okay? So you should be doing 3D map, and that you should be doing. Then what you need to do is with your 3D, and you can either get the Matterport that plugs onto your phone, or you can get Room, and then you take a tripod, you put it on, you 3D it. And then what you can do is you can either do Facebook Live, you can record it, pre-record it, or you can do you can do watch parties, or you can do it through Zoom. So what you can do is, we took, like this weekend, I think we took a property, and we had Mark and an agent on our team, and basically took the home, had it on 3D, or no, had it on a walkthrough. It was a walkthrough, okay, that you would normally put on Zillow.
Yeah, so we had a professional walkthrough done of the property with the photographer. So then you can just take that. And so we showed that in the beginning, and then the agent, it was a vacant property, so the agent was actually there. And so, but you can actually do it where they don't have to be there. And the agent walked around and just talked a little bit and showed, hey, the dock. So they showed up close to the dock, because that was a big deal. 90-foot dock space and a wide canal. So her camera could show that the canal is wide. So I can actually, if I have a 70-foot boat, I can actually turn it around. So just stuff like that to.
Well, and then you can have, like, I can give you a list, Tracy, if I'm the one who's doing it, or maybe a 3D, and you can, the list of the home, and you can start asking me questions, right? So it's more of a communication. Now, you can use that as a watch party now to do to do a lot of virtual open houses. So you can use the same thing over and over and over again, and just ask questions to people. If you want to do it live, obviously you can go, like you said, and show people live. So there's multiple ways that you can do this. I recommend you try them all, see what works for you. Maybe with some homes it'll be better with other homes, but virtual open house 3D, have to do it, guys, hands down, because people are not going to want to do traditional real estate, many people. The other thing is when you're doing this, for example, let's say I'm like, no, I do not want, Melissa, I am not going to go look at homes. And you can say, you know what? No problem, Kristen. What I'm going to do is, all the ones that have these virtual, don't you think it's going to be a lot better that she shows them through Zoom and talks about these homes? Of course, those will sell easier, right? Because I don't want to go. And let's say I'm a seller and I say, okay, I don't want people coming through my house, which is going to happen more and more. So number one, you're either going to have to set up an auction type of how to sell the home, auction, to get multiple offers with nobody ever going through your home. So an auction type of, or the other thing you're going to have to do is, let's say, okay, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I am on, you can have a Zoom call with Melissa and Melissa's buyer, and I can show you the home, answer the questions and everything. Okay. Have a 3D and talking about the home to Melissa and her buyer. Okay, through Zoom before I ever even, and I can make my seller feel comfortable that this is going to happen before we ever allow anybody into the house. The other thing that you can do is you can actually have them have an accepted offer before they get to see the house. So that makes the seller comfortable. So there's so many different ways that you need to be working as far as forever. Okay. And all of these different things that you need to be doing now forever, because you are going to miss opportunities if you do not do it this way, because people are going to, just like 911. What did we do that never has changed since 911? The airports, right? What's happened in the airports? Security. Okay. That's never changed ever again. And that's what triggered all of that. stuff, again, people are not going to want to do traditional real estate. So you've got to make sure you've got a plan in how you're doing it and doing it virtually.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Oh no, Vic, hey Vic.
Yeah, sorry, because my meeting gonna start at 10, office meeting. So, can I ask a question? I'm sorry I interrupt you. Regarding Tracy. Tracy, I know Zillow push us to get the calls directly to OSAs instead of going to ISA. And because they say the conversion rate is a lot, but my OSAs are not really good converter, you know.
Yeah, we don't
call.
I don't do that. Zillow doesn't run my business, not yet anyway.
Okay, so when you're connecting directly to OSAs, what I understand, you said you find that day how many OSAs are available so the ISA can connect them directly?
So what I'm doing is I'm doing a live transfer from my ISAs. After my ISAs get them to say yes to the appointment,
yeah,
and that, you know, and we've qualified that particular appointment, then they'll do a live transfer and just say, basically they're saying, hey, I've got an agent who can meet with you right now. You're at your computer, blah, blah, blah. We're setting up this virtual thing. And just like, okay, I'm going to transfer you over to this agent. And basically, so the appointment was booked. It just happened to be that we have an agent set up in those blocks of times to take that live transfer and just start the whole process of virtually having the meeting.
Thank you so much. That's very good point. Thank you.
Hey, Tracy.
Yes.
Oh,
Keller here.
Hey, Keller.
Oh,
Hey, man. So I was talking to Mark about this yesterday, actually, and
Keller, where
yeah.
are you from, real quick?
I'm from Greenwood, South Carolina.
Okay, and you do about 10% of the sales there, right?
Yes, it's a small town. We did about 235 transactions last year.
Yeah, but you do a great job. So I just wanted people to kind of know who you were. So
Yeah.
when so what are you doing?
Doing the same thing everybody else is doing. But in regards to this live transfer, I know that goes contrary to what Todd and Craig have always taught. In fact, you know, he talked about it on the third day of the OSA workshop. You know, he learned that it needed to go through the lead coordinator just to prevent, you know, the ISAs getting chummy with one OSA and this and that. But it seems like this trumps that theory clearly, right, Tracy and Mark and Kristen?
No. My ISAs are the ones that are talking to them up front, and then the ISA will say, "Hey, I've got an agent who's available right now to do the virtual appointment with you." Then she just transfers that call to them.
Yeah.
So it's not trumping anything. It's just that the ISA is the first person that these people are going through.
Yeah.
You know what? We actually talked about this on the last mastermind a couple weeks ago, this exact thing. And I remember Tracy, that Tanner was on here and he's like, oh my God, we're going to start that right away. Cause I was telling him that we were doing it. Right. And nobody's ever been through this before. And I don't think Todd or Craig or anybody has done a lot of virtual appointments. You got to do what works. And they always say you got to do what works for you. So Keller, hands down, the ISA actually also, guys, for us, because we find it better that our ISAs are the ones that take the person 5 minutes before, if it is a set appointment, and gets on a call with them and puts them onto the Zoom call if needed. Okay. So they're the ones that are involved, because on our team, the OSA does not get the contact information of the lead until they've met them face to face. Okay. So that's just kind of how we have it set up with us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Bill, what's up?
How are you? Tracy, Keller.
Hey, Bill.
I was waving my hand, but I didn't think you saw me.
I saw you. Where are you from, Bill? Tell everybody.
From outside of Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. And
we are still staying in place, although we can start showing houses on Friday.
Wow.
Again, which is cool.
Yeah.
This has really been actually a pretty awesome experience for us. First of all, I'd like to say that if there's anybody in this group that started selling real estate around 2012 and has done nothing but worked in up market for the last few years, this is like the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Yeah.
So hang in there. You'll get through this. But in the last 2 weeks, we've listed 5 houses that like I've never seen. And I listed like 2 of them. I did my VIP buyer presentation over the phone and got the listings. And that's something we never would have done. And so now that we know we can do it, it's part of our arsenal, right? So I don't know if anybody in here has been selling real estate like in the 80s, like when I was in the 90s. But there was a time when your first introduction to a house was through the front door. And that was it. I mean, we had an MLS book with a little square black and white picture, and that was it. They had to call us. And what I've said for years, and what's really cool about this is everybody in our market's trying to catch up with us because we've been doing virtual from the standpoint of the presentation to the public for a long time in a big way, because what I've always said in our listing presentation is now the first introduction to your home is online. And so that experience has to be absolutely huge. It can't be let down. Now we're looking at other things and adding it to them. I mean, look, the virtual open house, you know, everything that's going on, right? We're starting to do. And what's going to be cool is that when this thing is over, look, next month, guys, we could be having a completely different conversation. I'm sorry, this is a day-to-day thing. But what's going to happen in our presentations is this is now part of our marketing. Everything that we've layered onto here is not going to go away. It's just going to be in addition to make that experience even better, not just for our company, but for our seller, right? And buyer clients. And we started doing it when we get somebody on the phone now with a buyer appointment. It's not about, hey, you know, can you meet us at our office tomorrow? It's like, hey, let's build your portal now. Let's understand your criteria and let's do it. We've been using electronically signed contracts here in Colorado for 20 years. So we're doing a listing appointment this afternoon. And when we're done doing the VIP buyer presentation, the contract's sent to them for electronic signature. It's ready to go.
So are you getting them signed right while you're still on with them?
Yeah. It's just like if I came to their house and got them to sign it. I just have them do it online, and I just share a screen and we go through the agreement, and then they just click their signature, and it's a it's a done deal. We think we're putting our first house that we've done virtually under contract, and I think the thing that is, look, this is still the biggest emotional and financial purchase someone's going to make. And at the end of the day, we're going to get back to where people are going to get more comfortable about going into houses. But that doesn't mean that we stop what we're doing. Everything that we're learning now, let's just continue to do it. And then, because what's going to happen is everybody else in our industry, they're just going to go back to what they were doing.
That's right.
So now we're even going to be more awe-inspiring. Hey, one thing that we did yesterday too, I put it out on the CP Plat page, is, you know, our VIP buyer or VIP seller presentation has that part that says, you know, it shows the whole team, and it says you get a whole team instead of just one person. So we have like 4 people on.
I saw that.
Beginning.
That was so smart.
And so now what we're going to do is, as we start to do these, like our transaction coordinator will come on, we'll all be on just real quick to say, hey, this is what we do. We're excited about the opportunity that you met with us. We look forward to serving you. And then they bust off, right? But now before anything started, I've given them all the validity in the world that what they're doing now is they're hopping on with a very competent team to get their home sold. And it's like off the chart. It's off the chart crazy. So once we get to the point then too, where we get past, you know, maybe we're not doing as many Zoom. I just don't know how this is going to roll, you know, next couple of months. But the great thing about it is we're not afraid to do it now. I'm not afraid to list a house over the phone.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not afraid to do any of that. It's more efficient and get it done quicker. So we got to embrace this stuff, because this is cool. So
Bill,
Yeah.
that's fantastic, Bill. I love the fact that you were doing that introduction of the admin person, transaction person, whatever. I'm gonna definitely do that. we've been listing houses virtually, basically, we used to do it just basically over the phone, but now we transitioned into being a virtual. So I was talking to my team today, and I just talked to 2 of my agents. I just had a couple of them chime in. One had 6 appointments, and he signed 4 out of the 6, 2 buyers and 2 sellers over virtual. And the other one, he was like batting like, I don't know, 6 out of 8 that he signed. And so that was just 2 of my agents. So and one thing that they said worked really great for them was, there's a couple ones, was the live transfer. They said it's just working really fantastic. And like Bill's doing, while they're talking to them, they know they're going to be, they feel pretty comfortable they're going to sign. They go ahead and send the electronic dot loop is what we use, send it right over to their inbox on their email and say, hey, sounds like you guys are ready to move forward. Check your email, click on it, and it just walks them right through. Click, 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 click. They're done. I love it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Tracy, really the lingo is too, is, hey, since we're on the phone, you want to see what our listing agreement looks like? I just sent it to you. Let's go through.
Yeah, that's good. I love what Bill says. We should never stop doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's exactly right. And a few things that, you know, people will ask us too. How's the market? Is this, you know, I don't know if this is the best time to put my house on the market. It is absolutely the best time to put your house on the market, right? 100%. Number one is we don't know what's going to happen in 6 months with prices. And if it's an overflow of homes coming on the market, that's going to push the prices down. Also, yes, go ahead, Bill.
So we've encouraged all of our sellers to stay on the market because the bottom line is let me just tell you how this works. It's never changed. People always build an awareness set first. And that awareness set starts here. What are we looking for in a home? 30 years ago, the only way they could do it is pick up a newspaper and drive around open houses. Now they get on Zillow, Trillia, Realtor.com, they get everywhere. They build their awareness set. And through that process, they then drill down to a decision set. If you're not there, you are not making their decision set. And that's why you have to stay on the market now, and you have to get to market now, because when the buyers re-enter the market and nobody knows exactly what that looks like, although I do know that on Monday, some buyers are going to be able to look through houses. I don't want to be going, okay, now let me get online.
That's right.
I want to be online. I want to be a part of the decision set, because, you know, everybody is sitting home right now, building their awareness set and getting down to a decision set. And the day that they can start looking at houses, those are the houses they're going to go look at, not the ones that are not on, right? Not on the market. And so it's really important to still create that sense of urgency. We had a gal that we listed her house, and she said, I want to be on the market the first week of May. And I said, oh, great, when? Why? You know? And she said, because I think that there's a slew of foreclosures that are coming to the market, and I want to beat those to the market. Well, I know for sure that's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. But you want to know what? Why would I disagree with that perception? And I said, you know what? You can be absolutely right. We better get to the market right away. And we did. I mean, we are. And so always agree, show, don't tell, and get these deals done. And don't sit back and go, well, you know, I can't get out of the house. I can't do this. I can't do that.
Well,
because what you're doing now is building the future business. But I'm surprised at the amount of houses we're listing through this. And I'm like in my home office. And
well,
I mean, I'm not even seeing houses that I'm listing.
Yeah, so we've seen it definitely here in Boca Raton and in South, that people are starting to want to see houses now. They're done with this. You know, they want to meet us face to face. They're done with this virtual. A lot still want to be virtual, but you know, for a few weeks there, nobody wanted to meet face to face, and now people, which we aren't supposed to be doing right now. So, anyways, what we're seeing also is buyers. So the thing is when you're talking to sellers, you don't know what's going to happen to buyers. How about all those buyers that actually saved up their money to have a down payment that might not have that anymore? Or how about the ones that they don't have a job and they have to go out and look for another job, and now the job isn't in the same field as they had? Okay. Or what happens if we did a forbearance because we have a home to sell to buy another home, and we did a forbearance? Well, it's not supposed to affect your credit score. Things are changing every single day. Okay. And if it doesn't affect our credit score, we still missed a mortgage payment. Missing a mortgage payment, you're not supposed to, at this time right now, still, you can't buy a home for a year. Okay. Now, will they probably loosen up on it because of the times? Maybe. But there's so many reasons why you got to put your home on the market right now, because you don't know the buyers when all the other homes start flooding onto the market. You don't know how many of the buyers are going to be out there to actually buy as well. Yes, Tracy.
So another thing too, on the buyer side, is we're educating the buyers and preaching this gospel of the interest rates are really low right now. So when we come out of this thing, they're going to go up. When, I don't know, but they're going to go up. But so for instance, what we're telling people is like, you can buy a $350,000 house right now, and the payment would be the same on a $300,000 house if the rates get up to around 5%.
Yeah.
So you can buy more house for the same payment right now than you can in the next few months. So if you have buyers on the fence, that's a great message to preach to them and say, listen, you look at this $350,000 house versus this $300,000 house. Which one do you like best? Oh, you like this one better? All right, if you buy now, here's your payment. If you wait and buy this, and if you wait, then here's what your payment's going to be on that 350. And actually, here's what your payment will be on that 300. So you can show them the difference of like what the power of their dollar can do right now. And if they sit and wait, I'm telling you, I mean, my wife has a mortgage company. I'm telling you, they're waiting with bated breath to raise the rates. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy, that to your point, every time an interest rate raises 1%, it takes away 10 to 12% of the buying power.
Yes.
That's right.
That's a known fact. I mean, that's a solid data feed. And so, that's definitely a conversation to be having. There's no doubt.
Well, and then you've got the sellers, we don't know what's going to happen to the prices, with the sellers. So why wouldn't you sell your home right now if we can get market value of what it's worth currently today, right? And then on the buyer side, is it the right time to buy? Yeah, absolutely, it's the right time to buy. If they, obviously they have to have a job, but they don't have as many people in the market. How about those first-time home buyers, or those people that kept getting beat out by person after person after person? Absolutely, this is a great time. And just like what you guys were saying is, well, what happens if the prices go down? Okay, it's not going to be like the mortgage and financial crisis. If you look at all of the charts and all of the data and everything else, and I thought John Reeves sent over something really good explaining it. I don't know if you guys looked at it, but and it is so true. Like, it's not going to be like that because the lending wasn't the same, and the buying power and everything else. So absolutely, this is an awesome time to buy a property because interest rates are going to go up. Okay. So anyways, when we look at all of this, it is a great time to sell. It is a great time to buy. And we just have to figure out how to do it virtually if we need to. Now states are opening. Your state is opening, Tracy, next week, right? Or this week. Tennessee's opening. Georgia's opening. And Texas is opening. And is your state opening, Bill, or is that just what you can do? Is that your state that's opening?
Colorado's stupid. The whole time, marijuana shops are essential, but show house isn't.
Oh, come on.
So, it's stupid. And so we're going to be able to show houses on Monday. I think Colorado felt that since everybody has to stay at home, if they kept about 50% of the population medicated, they wouldn't rebel as much. I don't know what the deal was, but so that's going to open up. Restaurants aren't going to open up yet. I mean, there's some parts of it that aren't going to open up yet, but showing houses is going to happen. And you know what? At the end of the day, and I think a lot of people can attest to this, we really don't know where our next buyer or seller sometimes is coming from.
That's right.
So the higher we get in the tree and the louder we yell, the better off we're going to be. And now, man, these tools that we've got that a month ago I never would have, even 2 months ago.
No way.
I wasn't doing Zoom, nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, like, I'm a pro.
And it's so great.
And now we'll go right to it. We'll go right to it before even setting an appointment physically.
Right.
If we can. So it's not gonna completely change the way we do things, guys, but it sure is gonna enhance it.
And that's true. And the thing is the realtors that are not pivoting and shifting, you're going to see a big difference. And, you know, up to 30%, 35% may get out of the market, right? And then how about, are you guys seeing that your closings are going down in your area, or your prices are going down in your area? Are you guys seeing any of that?
We're seeing neither. We have not seen we are seeing some less pending contracts. I mean, I think that's only natural. But even if we stayed on this pace, and this is the other thing, y'all need to know your market. You got to know your data really, really well. Because even if we stayed on track with just what we're doing, we would close over 50,000 houses in our market. And over the last 5 years, we averaged 51,000. So there's nothing there. And I'm tracking under contract, and we're staying solid. The other thing is that Zillow did a research project on real estate markets recovering after pandemics, and they recover. So there is a lot of good data out there that if you have to have the conversation, you can have it very intelligently and dismiss any, you know that the acronym for fear is false education appearing real, right? And you can eliminate that. And then all we do is it's just really simple. So when would you like to go to market? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
We did the same.
You know, let's go ahead and let's get the agreement done. And then what we'll do is we'll track the market as we're moving along here. And if it looks like we can go to market earlier, we'll go to market earlier. Photographers here, they're all essential. We're just not. Okay, but everybody else can go into a house. So photographer, inspector, appraiser, but I'm not allowed to, but that's okay. So we'll get it listed, we'll get it ready to go. And then we'll start doing our coming soon marketing program and everything else, and start raising awareness of the house and be ready when things start to launch again.
Yeah, we did a market research, or I did yesterday, and I was presenting it to the team today. And what we're seeing is there's less homes coming on the market. Our days on market has actually dropped, and we're seeing that what it is. It's the theory of less is more. So there's less houses for these buyers to choose from, and they're jumping on them. And so what's happening is they're like, you know, the buyers want to buy. And so so what we're seeing is we went from almost 4 months of the absorption rate was at 4 months. We're down to 3 months of absorption rate. Our days in markets have dropped like 12 days. We're 12 days faster now than we were this year. And then we also saw the prices are still maintaining. We're selling at 99% of asking price in this market. Yeah. So when we get through this, I mean, that's why I'm recruiting like crazy. You better be ready, because when the doors kick open, it's going to be a floodgate.
Yeah, we definitely feel the same way, that the market's going to be very, very strong, and that you're seeing very little difference in prices or closings. But the thing is also is that you guys got to exactly what Bill said. You got to know your stats. You've got to know your stats. It's got to be factual. So I would have them in articles, different things that you're sharing, not just what you're saying to a buyer or seller. Bring up the facts, show them what's happened in the past, show them everything that you can to back up what you're saying. And also, guys, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but we are getting a hold of more people. Okay, we're running more marketing. It's costing us less money to run more marketing. We're scheduling more appointments. We're having more held appointments. The other thing is you've got social media is up about 300%. So if you guys are not all over social media all day, every day, you need to be on all platforms. Okay. You got to be pumping out content after content after content, videos, lots of videos. And all of that. Like, if you're not doing that, you're missing it, guys. You've got to be doing that. The other thing is I started, I don't know, some of you might've seen them, but they are a hit. We got, I don't know, I think 4,000 views this last month. And we only did, since last week, I'm doing podcasts all on education. So I've got attorneys, therapists, doctors, I had Ruben, who's I believe on here, our lender. We've got CPA, all talking about this time right now and what's happening. So I think that, you know, education, interviewing, getting out there, and people have loved it, loved it, loved it. So I recommend that you guys do that because you're showing also the education to everybody in the community. Okay. But that's another thing that I absolutely recommend. Are you guys seeing that you're able to reach more people and make more appointments? Anybody? Okay, so what are you guys doing with your teams? Because I know a lot of people on here that have teams. They're struggling with their teams. So they're struggling with their team buy-on or their team appointments. What are you doing? So to be successful with your team, any of you that are successful with the teams, what are you doing to make that happen? Teresa.
So,
Go ahead. Hey, Teresa.
hi, how are you guys doing?
So Teresa is in Naperville.
Yes.
She was, guys, when the REO market, what were you doing? 700 transactions a year?
Well, we started the REO division in 2008, and with the first year we did 75 REOs, then doubled to 150 on up, and there were a couple of years where we did 550 REOs per year, and then another 120 traditional.
So what do you think? Do you see, sorry, I'm going to ask you this since I have you up here. What
Yep.
because you're obviously connected with a lot of REO people and a lot of
Yep.
people. Do you see the distressed properties getting a lot?
I do. I know that
I do too.
the other gentleman, Bill, no, it wasn't Bill. The gentleman, Tracy, was saying he doesn't feel there's going to be REO. I hope not.
I do
I
too.
hope not. But just looking at the numbers, and I'm in the Chicago market, but I'm looking at stuff across the country, and every market's different. But just think about the fact that there's so many people out of jobs. I'm seeing a lot more BPO orders coming through, everyday requests for me. I'm doing short sales. I have not seen an increase in my REO assignments yet, but we won't, because they can't foreclose now for 3 months. But people were living on the edge anyway. There were still a lot of people living on the edge. And now I think this is going to put a lot of people into a position where they just physically can't keep their homes because they don't have jobs. So it's going to do the same thing from the bottom up again. Again, I pray I'm wrong, but I'm just seeing it. And so we're gearing up for it.
And that, of course, I want you to answer the question that, and I'm sorry to take you off, because I do too. And I've been, as far as short sales, because I don't know if you guys remember, but that was what I did when I first came on, right? I was taking 20 short sales, and that's what, so we definitely see that coming, because you're looking at up to 47 million people being out of jobs. Okay. Even though we're starting to open, you know, it's, guys, companies, you know, there are a lot of companies that aren't going to be able to open up to 35%, small businesses not being able to survive this. So it is definitely going to hit, and there's no way it can't. And I hope it doesn't, but I know that in short sales, people are going, and I don't know, you know, about the REO as much, but the short sales, I definitely see it 100%.
Hey, Kristen and Teresa, you know, I think that goes to the point that, look, every market always has NEDs, foreclosures, you know, the divorce market. We've got 2 or 3 houses on the market right now because of that. And we continually work it. So I don't think our pillars ever shut down. They just ebb and flow and produce at different times. And we're always ready to, hey, Teresa, I grew up on the South Side, so I know all about Chicago. I still say you guys a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're looking at that, I think there's going to be more. You know, we've got 3 short sales that we're doing right now, Kristen, and I haven't seen those. So we're back to working notice of election of we're starting to work notice of election of defaults, which is kind of what ours is before they go into foreclosure. So it's going to be interesting, because one of the things that they said is once people go back to work, they're not going to go back to work. But what I don't think is going to happen is, there's legislation coming down that I think is going to protect through either a forbearance or a deferment a lot of people when it comes down to losing their houses that they normally wouldn't have. And there'll be some government programs in place there. But if they need to sell, now's the time to do it, because this is when they're going to maximize their equity.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's the
Absolutely.
important thing. That's why they've got, and who better than us to help them with a real estate need in a time of trouble, rather than an algorithm or an inexperienced agent.
and I'm doing a great podcast tomorrow with an attorney all about what we're talking about right here. Because the forbearance also, people have to get approved. They aren't listening. They're just going to miss their mortgage payment. They don't know, is it going to be, spread out, and put on the end, or is it going to be that they're going to have to pay their taxes and insurance plus, in the fourth month, plus the fourth month mortgage payment, or are they gonna have to pay them, what is happening? It's changing every day. So in the fourth month, let's say I just got back to work, I've got to pick up all my other bills. I don't have money. It is going to snowball into it. We actually just started working on our short sale marketing, and we are amping it up. Just so you guys know, we are going to go crazy with it. I definitely feel in a lot of markets, you guys need to figure out your marketing in this area, and you're going to see a lot of it. Okay, so Teresa, tell us what you're doing to be successful with your teams, to the buy-on, to making sure that they're getting on, like Melissa talked about when she came on at the very beginning. She has a lot of great agents, but they're struggling to adjust to these times, right? So what are you doing?
A lot of things. And like you, Kristen, I'm busier than I've ever been. I'm working 7 days a week. I am working from home. Did not do my hair or anything today. But you guys don't care. We're close. We're friends, right? But the thing is, it's we've set up in Microsoft Teams video. It's like Zoom, but we have Microsoft. So we're with my agents and my ISA. We're having these regular meetings. My agents are learning how to do buyer benefit presentations and listing presentations with using the Zoom. And it feels good. I mean, it's like you can be more efficient. You can ask questions. You're being more timely. So I'm training my agents on how to do that. And then we're all connecting also with my ISA who's in the Philippines. So it's been really great. I've adjusted our script, our Craig Proctor Universal Callback script somewhat. And I think I was on another call and I chatted, put it in a chat. But again, what she's doing, my ISA, she's the client care coordinator for the Ryan Hill Group. And she just calls to say, Teresa wanted me to call just to check in on you, to see how you're doing, to see if we are sending you the right properties. Just checking in with you, and then she'll listen, and then she'll go into the callback script, like when you are ready to buy, when are you looking to buy? So she'll pick up the callback script at that point, but she opens it up with, how are you doing? Are we sending you the right properties? Do you need anything? Do you need anything adjusted about the search that we're sending to you? So I've helped her, and she's been able to double the appointments she's setting every week by this. And I've said, Chin, your mindset is you're our client care coordinator. You are there to take care of our clients and to just serve them, and just checking in. And then she'll go through the script and set the appointments if it's the right thing to do, if the timing is right for them. But she's not pushing. She's there to serve. And she has said, Teresa, this has made all the difference in the world. I enjoy my job more because but she's a nurturer. She's a caretaker, and she's very articulate on the phone, and we role play a lot with her. And I've had the time now to spend more time role playing with her, which is critical. And just the little nuances, like the other day, we role played, and she was the ISA calling me, and all of a sudden she started speaking very fast and rapid. And I said, Chin, slow down. I go, we need to listen to the client and listen to the pace and the tone that they're using and try to match and mirror that. If you're speaking with someone that's rapid and fast, yes. But if there's someone that's speaking a little slower, if you come on loud and fast, it pushes them away. So I'm training her on how to listen to who is that person and how to connect, not only with the words, but the pace and the tone. Let's see, we're redoing our seller presentation, our buyer benefits presentation to include things that are relevant to today's times. I need to shoot those videos. I know when I have my coaching call with you, you're going to hammer me because I haven't done it yet. Although the goal this week was to pick the top 3 videos that I need to shoot. What are the 3 most important? Write the bullet points, start with the bullet points, and then do the script and just shoot them and then send them out.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you. One of the things are, as a brokerage, like we're going to have our meeting after this, but what I found is when it first started a few weeks ago, none of them were making, and these are team leaders. Okay. So, you know, with teams, and none of them were making appointments. They weren't adjusting. They were not calling very well. And they're on here right now. Okay. So they're listening to me totally. And I'm sorry for calling you guys out, but seriously, that's the way that they were, Melissa. They were just like that. So what we did is, number one is we started, first of all, doing the buyer presentation each week. Somebody else does it. Same with the seller presentation. Each week, somebody else is going to do it. Also, we talk about our challenges that we're having, and we set goals every week. So they got to answer. So like today, after this, I have a meeting with them, and our goals are, and they set their own goals, and they did really well. So then once we did that and we set the goals, Melissa, they met them. So like they said, okay, over the next week, we're going to have 5 appointments. Okay. And we're going to have 2 executed contracts and 50% VIPs signed. Now understand, the week before that, they had none. I had one of my team leaders that she was, she's like, I'm not doing any marketing. I'm just, kind of chilling and watching everybody else and trying to figure it out. I said, oh, hell no, you're done. You're done. That's it. Today, you're going to market. You are going to market as of today. And she did. Okay. And she got all these leads. I think she got like 60 leads in a week. Okay. And now, so every week they're doing their own. So they're going to do how many, making sure that they're doing the marketing, how many calls they're making, how many appointments they're setting, how many VIPs, and how many contracts. Okay. So we're going to see how well they did today in just a little while, in about 30 minutes here. But I'm telling you, last week, because we're doing it every week now, they did phenomenal. Okay, so get with your people, do calls, do presentations, make them feel better, role play with them. So we role play too. Okay, so we role play with them to get them stronger, throw objections at them, and they can feel like, as a team, as being a broker, we are able to work with all the team leaders. So these aren't people on our team, guys. What we're talking, really, we're talking about more of the team leaders. But doing that, man, you see it. And one of our team leaders yesterday, I think we made the appointment for him. Okay, actually, my inside sales agent made the appointment for him. He got a listing and a buyer from it. Okay, so anyways, there's all sorts, but get people to set their own, and then every week hold them accountable to it. So that's my recommendation. Anybody else have anything else before I hope everybody enjoyed this call, but does anybody else?
Kristen, real quick, just real quick. So what I'm getting ready to say has not been sanctioned by the CP coaching program, just so that you know. We're actually leaving messages, and we're leaving messages right away. So a sales trainer that I work with said people are not obligated to call you back, and they're definitely not obligated to call you back if you don't leave a message. I think you guys have probably heard of Grant Cardone. And so we've really got we're just leaving a message. We don't reach them the first time, we're leaving a message. We don't reach them the second time, we're just leaving messages. And we've got people calling us back. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the MO moving forward, but we're having a lot of fun with it. I call it rehumanizing our business because of robocalls and everything else. People are staying home right now. They're under stressful circumstances. I don't think they really want to be double tapped. And so we're calling, leaving the message, helping them appreciate that we know where they're at. If there's anything we can do to help, give us a call. And, that's working pretty well. The other thing is, so here's a cool thing, look at your new home industries in your markets, because really they've been doing virtual showings for about a decade. They've always had an online person that kind of handles stuff and takes them through houses. But I just got an email from Oakwood Homes, and they're going to do a virtual cooking class. Now, how many people can you get on
Yeah.
to promote your company by doing a virtual cooking class where everybody's got to stay home and cook right now?
I think that's really awesome, though. If you have
That's
the energy,
out of the box.
yeah, and if you have the energy and you can, and people like, watching, and I mean, I think that's an awesome idea, right?
Why does it have to be a home selling seminar?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, I'm going to shut up now, but it was great seeing everybody.
Well, hold on real quick. Gary asked Bill, what is your message on your script?
Hi, this is Bill Watson with the Watson Realty Group. We recognize right now that everybody is probably in stay in place because of the COVID-19 virus, and we want to let you know that we're here to help. We also want to let you know that when you're ready to get busy looking for a home, we're here for you. By the way, it might be a good time for you to start looking now since you have the time. So give us a call. It's free, there's no obligation, and we'll be glad to set up a very proprietary and exclusive portal so that you can look at the market the way that we do, and you can start really getting educated on the market. It's really soft. It's not a big hard sell, and we get people that call back and say, hey, that sounds pretty cool. If we get them on the phone, because it used to be get in the office, jump to the hoops, sign the agreement, we sit right there and say, you know what? Let's get you just set up right now.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about the kind of home you're looking for. We're going to set up an exclusive portal for you now that's very proprietary. You look at the market the way that we do. And oh, by the way, we're going to call you back in about 2 days just to make sure we've hit the mark and to make sure we don't have to make some tweaks. Now we're building a relationship.
That's right.
Right? And we think it's going to have some legs. So.
No, that's awesome. And that's a great point. I mean, it sounds like everybody that was really talking about the success it's more a soft approach now than it is a hard approach in building those relationships and such. You all really, really, really appreciate. I just want to ask one more person to share a little bit. I know we're going over, so if you have to go, that's okay. But Allison, so you presented really, really well the other day. And can you kind of share what you're doing? Because I thought you were awesome. Hold on, let me unmute you. I'm trying to unmute you. Hold on. Oh, there. What? I just muted you back. Okay, go ahead. So, Allison, tell
Yes.
everybody where you are.
I'm in a city called Burlington, which is about 30 minutes in good traffic from Toronto, and about 30 minutes the other way is Niagara Falls. So we deal with Burlington, Hamilton area. So on Friday, I made a presentation as to some of the things that we do. What we found was very, very important to us was to educate the clients, the customers, the leads, because we know as real estate people, we're going to find a solution to keep selling houses and keep helping people. And so I made it my mission to come up with a program that educated the consumer, the prospect, and tried to put it in an easy manner. Because we have an ISA now that's calling and talking to them about Zoom appointments and being able to do it. We created a company called remote-realty.ca, where people can download and see how we do things. And we included a video of an actual listing and staging. We all did, which was, non-contact, a brochure that they could follow. And when our ISA is booking an appointment, she sends the Craig Proctor along with instructions how to do Zoom, how an example of how we get a listing up on the market with no contact, as well as our brochure filled with everything. So you know, it's a long process in regards to teaching people, but it's becoming warmer and warmer and warmer. People are really gravitating towards it. And that was our goal, you know?
Yeah, and you were absolutely awesome. It's about building the relationships, being softer. I hope everybody enjoyed this today. Did you guys enjoy it?
Excellent.
What
if anyone, can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Okay, if anyone wants to copy what we did, just go to walshandvolkhomes.ca or .com, excuse me, .com.
Can
And
somebody type that in here, please? Somebody type it.
WALSH.
Somebody type it
The
in the
word
notes.
and. Somebody typing?
Ernie, are you typing?
So Walsh.
Walsh.
Walsh, WALSH, the word and, AND, Volk, as in Volkswagen, OL.com. And that's our website. And right when you go onto our website, you are going to see our video that we did, a copy of our brochure. Our brochure is actually remote, REMOTE hyphen realty, REALTY.ca. And it's every page of our brochure is in there. And what I'm going to highly recommend, Lou and I's business is 80 to 85% repeat and referral. We're the old dogs here. We've been in the business, Lou's 30 years, I'm 28 years in the business. And so 80 to 85% of our business is repeat and referral. So one of the biggest things we did was print out the brochure, and that is in the mail to our customers. And along with a letter saying, hey, pass this on to anyone that you know that needs to buy or sell a property these days. And it's just showing we care. And so I highly recommend it. Copy it, send it to your client base, and hopefully it'll help you to continue to get more business.
Thank you. And thank you for everybody sharing today. You guys were all awesome. Bill, also, if you guys want to copy and paste, he put in there what the messages that they're leaving. Okay. Voice message we leave for the expired market. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Also, if you guys want a copy of this or go back and listen to it or try to pick up something, I ask you please to go to YouTube, because we are going live for a first time on YouTube. It's Stamp TV, Kristen Stampini. You can get the recording there. Also, if you wouldn't mind leaving a little, hey, this was great information here, that would be really, really appreciated. And I appreciate all of you. Yeah? Did somebody say something?
Oh, I said, will do.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Go sell big. Bye.
Bye.